Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a great Thursday. We're going to try not to ram the mic again like I just did. Meteorologist Jaret Lansford here. We're looking at a pretty good day up ahead for us. We started off with a little bit of a chill in the air, and we are looking at temps that are going to be well above average for the rest of this afternoon, tomorrow, into the weekend. And one of those days, we have a chance at a record high. We'll take a look at which day that is, how warm we'll get, and what could maybe get in the way of getting to our full potential of warming on that day as well. We'll also take a look at when we see our next chance for some showers. We could actually use some rain, so I'll give you a first alert to when we could see that happen. Let's go ahead and take a look at where we're at now and where we're heading. And we have a lot of sunshine that's in place right now. We've cleared away that high cloud cover that was in place, and that's allowing us to start to warm things up. 54 is where we're at. We were actually down into the 30s in the area at certain points this morning. So we have already gone up quite a bit. Notice that south wind. It is a little bit breezy out there. That's at 16 miles per hour. So that's part of what is helping to boost our temps, and that's just going to be the trend as the rest of the day goes on. We'll end up at about 70 degrees for our high. Very mild, very enjoyable weather. You're trying to get the Christmas lights up. You're trying to get anything done outdoors that you need to do. Maybe you've been putting off raking. I don't know. It's great weather for doing anything outdoors. And not just today, but the next few days. We look at some pretty nice weather alongside that. Now, you may be wondering, 70 degrees in mid-November, that sounds pretty hot. Are we anywhere close to a record high? Today, no, we are not. Actually, today, it's noteworthy because that 83 degrees you see for the record high from 1999, that's the warmest temperature we have registered in the month of November on record in Omaha. So we won't get there, but tomorrow is more attainable. 76 is the record, and we have a shot at it. I'm going 74 for our high tomorrow, and I'm going to explain why we have a chance and why I think we come just short of that record here. And a lot of it has to do with how things unfold as we go through the night tonight. So we'll have that clear sky in place. We're going to be looking at things dropping off with our temperatures pretty quick, and we'll end up down into the low 40s by the time we're getting late in the night. And that sets us up pretty well with a surge of moisture that's coming in out of the south to start to produce some fog. You're going to see some of that developing here as we're getting into the late portions of the night. It's right here you're seeing some of it, and it's more likely to develop south and east of the metro, but it's a matter of just how far north does that spread as the morning goes on. There you can see it continuing to advance. On this model, stops around the Iowa-Missouri border. At times, that has spread as far north as the metro. And where we get that fog, you can see it's pretty persistent. We're right at 10 a.m. on this model, and it's still got the fog in place. This is my concern. I think the fog may be a little more widespread than what this model is saying. And wherever we get that fog, it's probably hard to clear. This time of year, the sun angle makes it a little more difficult to get rid of fog in these kind of scenarios. And we don't have as much warming on these kind of days this time of year as what we would have in, say, September, where we have more hours to work with to try to recover. So even if this is still in place 9, 10 a.m., that really hurts us as far as trying to get warmer and get into that record conversation. This is the reason why I'm going a little conservative, going 74 degrees. Now, I will say if we do end up avoiding the fog getting as far north, and it starts to clear a little earlier, that would really help our warming. I think we'd have a good chance at getting to the record in that scenario. You can see it goes away, and we have sunshine all through the rest of the afternoon. So the fog is absolutely the wild card for our Friday. As it is, I think we'll have some of that around. We'll get rid of it about 9, 10 o'clock. It'd still get warm enough to be very pleasant out in the afternoon. We're talking mid-70s. We're talking a lot of sunshine. So even if we don't get to that record, it's going to be a fantastic Friday to be outdoors, and you'll want to take advantage of that. You have any Friday evening plans, looks pretty good. Just keep in mind this time of year we do start cooling down some pretty quickly in those evening hours, so jacket will be a good idea. As far as the weekend overall, Friday is the warmest day. Still pretty nice Saturday. We will get a wind shift and we'll turn that wind to the northwest. Notice it'll be breezy. We'll have some gusts up around 25 miles per hour, but still 68 for a temperature. So it's still looking pretty good after that front moves through on Saturday. It does cool us down a little more on Sunday, but 58 still above average. More cloud cover as we get later in the day, but that's still a pretty solid day. And this is a really nice weekend overall that we're talking about for mid-November. Our next chance of rain, you may be wondering when that comes. It looks like Monday is when that's going to arrive. So here's how it plays out, and you can see this system starting to make its way in as we're getting into the morning hours. And you see the bulk of the system is kind of tracking off to the north. We likely start to fill in a little bit more as we get toward the middle of the day, so late morning into the noon hour. We've got some showers working our way through. Can't say there won't be a rumble of thunder alongside that either. And then as we get further in the afternoon, we continue to try to track that off to the north and east. So that's the most likely scenario. Most models show this sort of setup taking place. I will say there's one persistent model that tries to pull the whole system further south that has cold air in it, and you notice what's happening to the north on this model where it's kind of trying to change that over and include some snow. That one model tries to do that down around here in our area. So that's something we'll have to keep an eye on because it's persistent with trying to make that be the case. It's on an island, so we'll see what blinks first. I think we end up with the rain setup, though, for this weekend, and we could use that. We have had a couple of dreary days, but not much in the way of actual rainfall over the last month or so. So going back to mid-October, we are at a quarter or less of where we should be for precip in that stretch, if that makes sense. So 25% or less of the rain that we would normally see from mid-October to mid-November is what we've seen in most of the area. So we could really use some rainfall in the area. And this system looks like it could change things for us. Let me show you. So the next 5 days, very mild, pretty quiet the next few days. We get to Monday, that's our next chance for rain. And behind that system, it looks like things get a little bit busier. So we bring another chance for some precip in Wednesday into Thursday. Another indication by next weekend that we try to bring some precip in. And you're noticing temperatures running cooler as well. A lot of highs that are pretty close to 50 degrees. That's around where we should be for this time of year. And nighttime temps that are in the 30s. So, of course, this time of year you start bringing precip into the area. We always have to watch because if it lands in the nighttime with the timing, that means you could start to mix over to some snow. So we'll be tracking that sort of thing. At this point, looks like it's all rain that we're looking at, but of course we'll keep an eye on it. And first alert if that starts to change. I do want to give you a longer term look, and you can see indications looking that things do continue to be busier as we get closer to Thanksgiving. So it's worth watching to see if we end up with some wet weather that maybe turns disruptive by the time we get into Thanksgiving travel season more in full. But at least over the next few days, the story is the warmth. We'll have to watch that fog tomorrow morning and see how long that sticks around. And if we have a chance at the record high for our Friday, and otherwise a really nice weekend. Get outdoors, get out, enjoy that, and soak up that sunshine while it's out there too. That does it for this stream. Thank you for joining for this. I'm going to be live here coming up at the top of the hour on First Alert 6, and I'll have the latest on how things are playing out today and what things are looking like over the next few days into the weekend as well. So hope you join me for that, and otherwise I hope you enjoy the nice weather that we have for our Thursday.